What's up, buddy boy? Welcome to Blurry WoW Vids. If you haven't been here before, the purpose of this video is twofold. One, we're going to discuss game mechanics and strategies with the goal of getting you through the dungeon as efficiently and safely as possible so that you can level quickly and move on to those bigger and better things. And two, knowing those mechanics and strategies, you will see the gear and level are not as important as you've been led to believe. Anything I forget or don't have time to say, I will add in writing. I hope you find these videos helpful and enjoy. Alright, here we go. Throne of the Tides from the healer's perspective. This is my level 80 healer, so as low as you can be. We are fortunate enough to have a level 82 tank, but be advised, you can get a level 80 tank in this dungeon, but the mechanics will be the same. And as long as you know what you're doing, you got a good head on your shoulders, you should come out on top, win the day, no problem. Alright, this first pack, we've got two healers, those spirit menders. And so typical dual healer approach, you want to CC one and then do your best to separate the other one from the pack so that the DPS can do their AoE. Even the sloppiest of Death Knights should be able to put down a Death and Decay without breaking your CC. That's my rule of thumb. So just be aware of that. The other thing here is you see these invaders have that bubble ability. What that does is when you hit them, it will cause equal damage to you. In theory, according to wowhead.com. I don't see much damage from that. The main thing with this pull is just do it right. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck up the CC and move forward. If you do end up fucking up the CC, just do your best to stun or, you know, neutralize one of the healers whichever way possible. Alright. This next guy up here, the Sentinel, I believe his name is. We'll see in a second. Let's see. Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Yeah, bullseye. Sentinel. Alright, the Sentinel, he's got a couple of abilities. The main one that you gotta watch out for is the green on the ground right there. You can see that guy. Talk about Secret of the Ooze. He's about to turn into a Ninja Turtle. And then he casts bubbles, which you can see on the tank right now. Those bubbles absorb healing. This guy's got, look at this tank. He's got the bubble. He's got that shield spinning around him. He's got the earth shield and the wings. He's going for some kind of special effects award of the year. And you know what? I'm inclined to give it to him. Looks like he's working hard for the money, so I don't mind that. Coming up here, this is of course the infamous jellyfish elevator in theme with the dungeon. It is never ever ever in the correct position. How many times I've run this dungeon, it's never down, it's always up. You always have to wait for it. Just as a note, if the elevator is up, when it comes down, you need to jump up and down. Otherwise you will still count as not on the elevator. You need to jump through it in essence. Here we see our tank has decided to go off on a little field trip. Later on, it took me about a week to understand what the hell he was talking about. I guess his UI was fucked up. I wish he had said that instead of saying I don't see the fog Jaja. I'm aware that Jaja is pronounced haha, but in America, in the best country in the goddamn universe, we say H-A, not J-A. J-A is fucking Brazilian. Fucking Brazilian. Yeah, I assume this guy's Brazilian because WoW decided that it would be appropriate to put Brazilians on the same servers as Americans. Despite the language barrier, I guess they want to bring us a little close together, undo some of the damage that the Tower of Babylon did. Or Babel? What was it? What's that biblical reference I'm searching for? In any event, it doesn't matter. I chose to leave this in the video for two reasons. One is it would be less work for me to edit if I left it in the video. And the other one being is I want to show you that this is typical of these dungeons. Even me, the greatest Warcraft player in the universe of all time, since before time, before God, before there was even light or darkness or water or primordial soup, I was the best player, and even I have to contend with people like this. And a note on foreigners. You know, I wasn't racist until I started playing Warcraft. I used to be very accepting of other cultures. I even looked forward to meeting people from other countries. I thought everybody has something to offer. It's the melting pot mentality, the tapestry, the everybody is sewing on a piece of the quilt, and in the end we'll have a beautiful product. But after playing Warcraft, I've now come to despise all foreigners. Anybody who's at all different from me, I now don't trust. I look at them with slitted eyes and an upturned chin, and we don't appreciate it because of experiences like this. But we persevere, we carry on, we pull through, and that is the that is the gist of it. As you can see, I've started typing in the dungeon, which is always a bad idea. You never want to type because usually, more often than not, it'll just get you kicked, especially if you're not the tank. So just, keep it to yourself, keep an emotional distance from your group mates, and try to avoid typing, even against my better judgment. I did it there. All right, this hallway is, what's it called? A gauntlet. So you have to judge the pace that you go through. We have pretty high DPS, so we had a pretty easy job of it. But just keep the aggro off the people who don't like aggro, like healers and DPS, and just manage your AOE cooldowns accordingly. Here you see me. The first two groups, no big deal, but this third group, we've got two healers, so I attempt to CC one and then completely whiff on the interrupt. As you can see, I did nothing to separate them. If I had pulled that interrupt off correctly, we would have been in much better shape. But watch this. Bada bing, bada boom. He just runs up and completely busts through my CC and makes a little bit more work for us. All the while disregarding aggro like a real Brazilian. And yeah, so it gets problematic. Luckily, our DPS was sufficient enough that we were able to win the day anyway, even despite the broken CC. But as usual, two healers. I like to CC one. Normally CC doesn't save time, but in cases like that, I find it's best to CC. And you will end up saving time in the long run. You spend an extra 3 seconds CCing, but less time in the battle. All right. There's sometimes in this pack there are two healers. So as usual, CC. This one is not a healer, but I CC'd anyway just to make it a little bit easier, a little simpler for the tank to figure out. And look on the right. See that guy with lightning bolts surging around him and then he explodes? That's what damaged me. That is from the witch, the spirit witch. I'm probably mixing up the name, but I don't care. It is an ability that it's a countdown bomb on your friends, and after 5 seconds of debuff, it will explode and damage all nearby party mates. So as with real life, if somebody has lightning bolts surging around them, get clear. Don't try to help them. Don't grab a board. None of that stuff is going to work. Just get clear. If they've got lightning bolts around them, it's already too late. There's nothing you can do. All right, one note while I've got a minute to explain things. Well, actually, on this pack on the right, same rules. Sometimes there's two healers, sometimes there isn't. In this case, there was. But again, our DPS was sufficient to overcome the healing. But it's not always the case, and you will get ugly groups who, what's it called? There's that lightning surge again. Although I think he feigned death out of it. Oh, no, he got it. See how he exploded? So in any event, yeah, this group, if you don't have good DPS, just do your best to interrupt one of the healers. This fight can be eternal. I've seen it just last forever, days, months, years. I've aged. I've had to shave in the middle of that fight, all sorts of stuff. This Sentinel, he patrols. He has been known to patrol all the way up to the first pack in this room, the pack with the lightning surging witch. And so just be aware of where he is, because he will add, and that is an unfortunate problem with this guy. He'll just complicate your fight, but usually most groups can handle it. But that is the rule on him. All right, let's see. Not much to talk about now. Let's talk about our little group. We've got a druid named. I was reviewing the video and I thought our druid was named Anal, but it was Annie. I assume. I could be wrong. It's too blurry now. But let's see. So yeah, this guy's asking for CC. or zap or convert. I don't know how that translates to Portuguese, but I don't know of any CCs called zap or convert in my American dictionary. But let's see, here we go, our English dictionary. So this boss has two major abilities that you have to watch out for. One is that geyser. Typical rules in real life, you wouldn't sit on a geyser. You'd end up with it shooting right up your ass, colonic style. You'd end up 40, 50, 60 feet in the air. And who's going to catch you? Nobody. That's who. So don't be that guy. Here is the ads. These ads are very easy. The trick is to manage them. So the big one is a melee. You want to pull him over to one of the casters and then CC the remaining caster like we've done here. One caster's on the left looking like a frog right now, and then the group is balled up nicely. Now I still have one ability left to talk about from the boss. That is her green projectile missile, which will cast a dot on you. So try to avoid it. You'll see me running around a lot, and that's why I'm doing that. Yeah, projectile missile, and not all healers can dispel it, including, unfortunately, the shamans. So just be aware of that, and you will get blamed if you forget to heal it, and it does quite a bit of damage, so you just have to heal through it. There is that shock blast, which should always be interrupted. It does a substantial amount of damage, but most groups, even Brazilian tanks, interrupt it, so usually it's not a problem. Now you see here, last time we CC'd that one on the left, like right now, but the tank decides he's going to flip the script. He says, fuck this, this is going way too smooth, let's throw a wrench in the works and see how these guys handle it. But it's good, because you get to see what happens when you don't CC or group them up correctly. As you can see, that chain lightning does a serious amount of damage. We nearly lost our hunter friend. Would have been a damn tragedy if you ask me. Our hunter friend who was doing all the CC, doing the right thing. It's always the good who die young. That's what I say. So you want to do your best to manage those ads using the appropriate dual caster format, where you separate one, CC the other, whatever you have to do it. Some tanks are really good and they can group all three. It depends on what you have for interrupts and if you can interrupt at range, but I find it's easier to just CC. Every group can CC one and then group up the remaining two very easily. As you can see, I got hit by the green and there's that debuff, so just don't be like me. The cinematic that's coming up, you just click this little coral VCR on the left here, and then you hit the escape key and then click yes, and that's how you skip that. Some people you'll see don't know how to skip it, like our druid friend. Forgive them, because you watched that cinematic the first time you were here too. I think it's funny as hell. And people who are new at the game, they're really they should be treasured. Alright, this boss is going to give our tank a nice big high five. You don't want to stand in that. Ready? Busted! Yeah, this guy's way too big to be congratulating us. He's trying to give us a high five, some orange slices. Don't be in that. Just run through his legs, slap his balls on the way, tug his little skirt there, and just, don't be standing in that. And then afterwards, he creates that void zone. That does a substantial amount of damage. I'll show you here. And watch how quickly my health starts to drop. And then, as if that wasn't enough to illustrate, our druid friend, I believe, is about to step into it. Oh yeah, there she goes. Annie is just giving us the exact information we need. You see that she almost dies just from being in it for a matter of seconds. So just be aware of that as well. When he grabs you, there's not much you can do. You can't heal, so just enjoy the ride. And heal through everything else. That's about it.